Iris.
House.
Visits.
What's love got to do with us? We need to talk about love, how we use it, where it happens, how it's misused, and where it all should begin. So I want to begin by talking about how it's misused. And unfortunately, we in this country, in this world, have a history of oppression. And I wanted just to start off reminding us that without going through the 400 years of history that we have in the United States, but just reminding us that any people, not just American people, but any people who have been victims of oppression in any culture, in any society, have four factors that are quite common to their experience as a result of this aftermath. And they are that people get their control externalized. They're used to being told what to do by someone who usually they become accustomed to thinking knows better than they do about themselves. This is one of the most disturbing things I think about what goes on today, and I want to just show you some slides a little later on that really evidence this. Secondly, the violence becomes normalized. We get used to it. We see it in all the media. We see it in the movies, and you know, actually the movies that have more violence actually sell better. Isn't that sad? Movies that are just quiet and peaceful usually don't do very well. Same is true with television. We are a society that's very used to blood and gore, even at lunch. We're used to seeing people die. We're used to seeing people beaten up. And unfortunately, we even like television programming that's abusive, like Dr. Phil. We see people tell other people what to do, and they know better. You know, and they're shaking their fingers at what they do. And I'm going to be on that show because I emailed him and told him that he was abusive and just should not talk to people in that way. That's not the way psychologists talk to people. It's not respectful. We're all raised in being oppressive homes, and we should not model that. Number three, that oppression contributes to family breakdown. When violence occurs outside of the community, it also tends to occur inside. We know that when we're victims of violence, we tend to perpetrate it on each other in families. And family breakdown is all we can tolerate when it comes to trying to keep our society going. A family that's broken means that family members don't talk to each other, don't try to support each other. They may not agree with each other, but there has to be some glue in life. We need our family support, and it doesn't have to be biological. But it is important to understand that oppression can break a family in two. And fourth, oppression increases healthy paranoia. What's that? That's just suspecting that people really are not genuine, they're not trusted, they're not to be trusted. That you don't trust your health provider, you don't trust people who try to give you the kind of information you may need about your own health and body. You certainly don't use medication the way it should be used. You sell it, you store it, you borrow it, you buy it, but you don't necessarily use it for yourself. And then you don't really trust what a doctor says. You might go to somebody else, and if your friend tells you something different, then you might listen to your friend.